Today's topic is about Beastmasters, as you already know. In the first episode of Tales of the Jedi, Ahsoka Tano has officially become a Beastmaster. If you haven't watched the animated episode I'm speaking of, here's the briefing. Basically, when Ahsoka was still a baby, her mother brought her out on the kid's first hunt, and this was to teach Ahsoka about the value of life and death. While the mother prepared to carry the Kaibuck she had shot back to the village was when a saber-toothed tiger appeared. The beast attacked and took baby Ahsoka away, presumably to eat her. While Ahsoka was alone with the creature, she managed to calm the tiger and had the beast return her to the village. Riding on the back of this fearsome beast was how Ahsoka returned to her family. The elder of the village, Gantika, proclaimed Ahsoka to be Jedi. Side note, Pav-Ti is the name of Ahsoka's mother. Could she be related to Jedi Master Shak-Ti? It would be interesting to know if they even just came from the same village. I've got the two most extremely powerful and proven Beastmasters on my list, but I've also got a few potential Beastmasters I'd like to talk about briefly. For my list, I had to make up one rule, and I'm not counting these people out entirely, but I am now for the sake of the video. Trained mounts like Boga, the Tauntaun, Eope, and others can be more or less controlled by any person with the right training, so those examples will not be counting for today. Our first potential Beastmaster is fan favorite Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, who was actually well known for his use of mounts. His ability to control the mind is already present in the films, but a lot of Force users can achieve this, so check out the sequence from the Clone Wars series where he managed to calm a group of insectoid monsters called Gutkers. Basically, he lured them into a trap where his clone troopers could take out the land bridge above the giant bugs, securing their escape. These beasts were no joke either. They were ripping apart the clone troopers left and right just before Kenobi performed this miracle in front of his men. I seriously think Obi-Wan could have transitioned his mind manipulation abilities into proper beast control with training. The next potential Beastmaster on my list is Grogu. When he calmed the Rancor in the Book of Boba Fett series, I have to admit that part was pretty epic and cute at the same time. I know the Rancor is technically a mount, but in this case, it's already imprinted on Boba Fett alone. Even so, the Rancor still couldn't be fully controlled by him or Danny Trejo's character. They should have had another Danny Trejo scene in here with him reacting to the Rancor while it was sleeping with Baby Yoda. Grogu's Beastmaster abilities are still inconclusive, unfortunately. He displayed a strong connection, but until we see him doing more than putting an already domesticated Rancor to sleep, Grogu remains on the potential side of this list. If we look back at when he revealed his powers to Din Djarin, he's shown a lot of progress since season 1 of The Mandalorian. That's because he only stopped the charging rhino-like beast known as a Mudhorn, but he didn't control it. Instead, he just used telekinesis on the animal, and then Mando killed it with this little knife. Anakin Skywalker was the first Beastmaster that we witnessed on screen. For a while, he was the only known Beastmaster for what seemed to be generations among the stars. But the galaxy is a big place, so if you have some other Beastmasters or Legends examples in mind, don't be afraid to leave them in the comments below. As a Jedi Knight, Anakin was able to tame the giant reek creature, which was during Attack of the Clones, and it looked like some sort of four-legged dinosaur. Was Anakin secretly in control of the Reek the whole time after that moment? Did he try to kill Mace Windu but ended up running over Jango Fett instead? That has potential for a theory video, but awkward jokes aside, in the Clone Wars series, Anakin came into contact with some extremely powerful Force users known as the Father, the Daughter, and the Son. Anakin was able to control the siblings in their beast forms. It is also said that the Father and the Chosen One were the only beings powerful enough to do so. So an honorable mention is going out to the Father. I'm certain he would have been considered a Beastmaster if he didn't force himself to live in exile away from the rest of the galaxy. Now, what's an example that Anakin did while he was a Sith Lord? Well, let's dip into the Vader comics for a moment here and take a look at what can only be described as a spacefaring whale that was converted into an organic spaceship by a mad scientist. These space whales are known as the Puurgil, and they possess the ability to access hyperspace and traverse the galaxy in the same way spaceships do. I'll try to briefly explain this one. There was a mad scientist named Dr. Silo who loved cloning himself and working in advanced cybernetic technologies for the Empire. He actually created Vader's suit and worked for decades under the Empire. Silo plotted to replace Vader and eventually the Emperor, believing his cloning and cybernetics were superior to the Force. Palpatine actually saw the Doctor as a threat and sent Vader in the Executor Star Destroyer to go after Silo's fleet. There was an epic space battle between the fleets. Vader also had to fight a cybernetic Rancor aboard one of the Puurgil. Silo escaped that ship to a new flagship, Space Whale, once the other one had blown itself up by crashing into the Executor. Vader boarded the main Space Whale. He killed Silo 4 or Silo 5, I can't remember what one. That's when Vader summoned the Force and directed the Space Whale to fly right into a nearby star, burning up all of Silo's clones along with the poor Puurgil in the process. Vader escaped, obviously. Finally, we can talk about the most powerful Beastmaster on my list, and it's Ezra Bridger. This kid has got the X factor when it comes to beast control. During their second encounter with the Grand Inquisitor, Ezra saved his master Kanan Jarrus by controlling the largest of the giant bat-like beasts called Fear Nox. Before this, Ezra and Kanan seemingly worked together to direct the smaller Fear Nox to attack the Stormtroopers and the Grand Inquisitor. Kanan will be our last potential Beastmaster here because in life he displayed a few instances of calming beasts and will never forget his work with the Great Bendu. However, it's after his death when he was at his most powerful and he persuaded the Loth Wolves of Lothal to help his Padawan Ezra. During an episode in Season 2 of Star Wars Rebels titled The Call, Ezra Bridger and the rest of the Ghost crew were trying to acquire hyperspace fuel for their ship from a mining guild refinery. The refinery, however, was overrun by a pod of those Puurgil we talked about before. Ezra was able to connect to the Puurgil and practically enlisted them into the war against the Empire. They came to a mutual understanding and defeated the ground forces controlling the refinery together. It turns out that the Puurgil use the same fuel that the refinery was mining. They use it for consumption and the ability to travel through hyperspace. Once the Ghost and the pod of Puurgil fueled up, they had their fast and furious goodbye moment and they blasted off into hyperspace. In the finale to Star Wars Rebels, the Loth Wolves were once again put into action and they destroyed these stormtroopers. That could have been Kanan still controlling the wolves. I like to think so anyways. The strongest example of beast control comes in Ezra Bridger's final confrontation with Grand Admiral Thrawn. This was of course when he controlled an entire fleet of Puurgil against the Empire. After boarding Thrawn's Star Destroyer, he fought with the Admiral one last time before having a massive Puurgil help him by holding the Admiral back. Finally, Ezra would say his goodbyes to the others and had the Puurgils attached to the Star Destroyer pull the massive ship into hyperspace. We can assume they traveled to the unknown regions of space, but it's also likely that the Puurgil have given Ezra access to an entirely new network of hyperspace lanes across the galaxy. Hope you enjoyed today's video. My delayed Darth Maul's Death Watch video will be ready before Mando Season 3, so stay tuned for that. I'll catch you in the next one, Star Wars fans.
Then you are a Mandalorian. No more.